Ooh, can you hear us calling out? Can you hear us calling, calling you? We send our sound. Hear us now.
What's up, guys? It's Silent here, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the True Exclusive podcast. On today's show, we have a hot new R&B girl group, which is actually a collaboration from Kandi Burruss of Xscape and Nick Cannon. Now, that's interesting. So we're going to find out all about that, all about the ladies and who they are. So without further ado, let's welcome PsiRyn to the show. What's up, ladies? How are you feeling today?
Hello.
Well, first, can you introduce yourselves individually?
Yes, I'm Victoria.
I'm Jada. I'm Anaya.
And we are PsiRyn.
So, for those who are watching who might not know how you got together, can you tell us that story?
Yes, of course. So we all started off as three solo artists training here in Atlanta at a performing arts company called AGI Entertainment. We got asked to do a song on Brandon Jay's compilation album called Walk Away, and we were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do it. And so to promote the song, we started doing some acapella covers on Instagram, and Kandi happened to see it, and she was also in contact with Nick Cannon, who hit her up and was like, do you know of any girl groups that's out right now? He was like, I'm working on something and I want to put together a super group. And so she mentioned him to us, and she was like, well, I don't think they're a group, but I can ask. And so Brandon hit us up and he was like, would y'all be down to be a group? And we were like, yes, of course.
So how was that to initially get that reaction from Candy, just from her appreciating your talent, and then on the flip side to ask if you guys would want to be a group?
It was super, I would say kind of surreal because I've grown up, listening to Xscape. They're iconic, and just watching Kandi on TV, I would definitely say like she's like Atlanta royalty. Like everybody loves Kandi in Atlanta. So I would definitely say it was like a shocking thing. And I didn't expect us to be in a group. My mom, after like hearing us sing together, after we did we actually did a song together before we were a group called Walk Away. And after my mom heard that song, she was like, they gonna make y'all a group. But I didn't expect it. Like I was like, I just think it was a song that we did. But sure enough, they brought us into a meeting and said, would you guys like to be a group? And the rest is history.
And so, how did you guys come up with the name Siren, and then to spell it in that unique way?
Yeah, so Nick Cannon actually came up with the spelling portion of Siren. He wanted it to be different and unique. And so that's what we finalized on. And the day we actually, it was 2 days before, or was it the day of?
The day of when we met him.
When we
Yeah.
met. Okay, so we all had a meeting. It was us, Kandi, and Nick, and our manager and Brandon. And before we got into the meeting, we were like, okay, let's go over some names.
Names. That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy when
He
you
was
think
like, let's go over some names. Like, what do y'all think of this? And as soon as we heard Siren, we were like, that's the one. Like, we initially was like, that's it.
Any reason why?
It definitely speaks to who we are
Yeah.
as a group and as artists. Siren are mythical creatures, mermaids who have these beautiful voices that oftentimes they lure men to the sea and entrap them and then capture them. And so it really relates to us because we are three individually strong vocalists, and together, when we come together, it's just always magical, and we're always like capturing people and always luring people to us. Like it's always people just popping up out of nowhere whenever we're singing. So it definitely speaks to us.
You mentioned individual acts, and when you started, you were trying to do the solo thing. Were there any reservations when that opportunity came with Candy, or was it something you even thought would be possible?
I would definitely say I had been approached before to like do groups and whatnot, but I never really thought like this was the lane that I was gonna go in. But I would say, the opportunity is a great opportunity to be mentored by Kandi and, Nick Cannon. So I would definitely say when the opportunity came, I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity. Like I can't pass it up. And the fact that we sound so beautiful together, I was like, you know what? This might be something special. I just have to, go along for the ride. So I would definitely say it has been rewarding, and I'm happy and grateful that I did it.
Yeah, for me, funny thing is somebody actually was like, can you be in this group? Like they offered me a group opportunity to be in a whole nother girl group. And something just didn't like sit right with me. I was like, no, I turned it down.
No.
I turned it down. I was like, no, it's not it. Went on with my solo career, and then out of nowhere, this happened so randomly. And I was like, okay. And I gave this a shot. Yeah.
I would say the same thing. It caught me pretty off guard, but I was like, we can all sing, and there's not a lot of groups out there who can do that. So I knew it was going to be something different and something amazing. So yeah.
Who are some artists that you guys listened to individually growing up, like maybe inspired you?
So I see Brandy right there behind you. Hey, that's my girl. I love her. Grew up listening to her.
Yeah.
Love her.
I would say for me, Mariah, she's right there too.
Period.
Yeah, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Yeah, I would say my dad played a lot of like Motown. I would say that's where I get my soul from. My mom played a lot of Sade, Shaka Khan. I listened to a lot of Stevie Wonder growing up. So yeah.
I think I'm way too sober, lost in my emotions. Need something to focus, just to hold me over. I think I'm way too sober.
You currently have the Sober single out. Can you tell me how that song came about and what made you want to come out with that as a first offering to the public?
Yeah. So the song was actually written by these wonderful artists, Natalie and Seven, and it was produced by Jo and Libby. And we were all in the studio one day, just listening to a whole bunch of demos, trying to see what we could work with. And as soon as we heard Sober, we knew like this is a hit.
That's the one.
And with our voices, we can really make it like take it to the next level and just add our own flavors to it. We added some wonderful harmonies, wonderful runs. It's just wonderful. And it's really about having fun, getting away from the stresses of the real world, because as people, we can overwork ourselves. We can just put ourselves in positions that sometimes can be difficult to deal with. So sometimes you need to just get away from the stresses of the real world, and whatever that may look like to you, whether it's getting a drink, going out to party, having fun with your family, just anything.
And it just hit number 15 this week. How exciting is that?
Woo! So exciting, so surreal.
Yes.
We are
Very
so
surreal.
grateful.
Yes.
From where we started to where we are now, huge jump,
Yes.
so much growth, but
Yes.
it's all paying off. All the
Yes.
hard work is paying off.
Yes, and we're actually up for Grammy consideration.
Yes.
So we could potentially get the nomination for it. First single, first Grammy nom.
Okay, you got to speak that into existence.
Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you're currently on the Nick Cannon Wildin' Out tour, right?
Yes.
What has that experience been like so far, and what did you learn from the Queens of R&B tour that maybe you didn't know beforehand, and that helped you with this tour?
I would say the Nick Cannon tour so far has been super, super fun. We definitely all like grew up watching Wild 'N Out on TV. I feel like Wild 'N Out is like an iconic Black show. So it's definitely a surreal experience, and we're super appreciative for Nick to, give us the opportunity. We open up the show, so give everybody some vocals before the comedy, which is really cool. So yeah, that has been really exciting. And on the Queens of R&B tour, I would say that tour is something that I'm like never gonna forget in my mind. Like that tour is gonna be something that I remember forever. We definitely learned a lot. I would say one thing that we learned is to make sure that you advocate for yourself, like especially when you're a new artist. Sometimes you can feel like, oh, I don't want to ask for that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, this is your career, and you're the one out there on the stage. So if you can't hear, you need to tell them you can't hear. If you need this, you need to tell them that, you need what you need. Of course, there's a way to articulate it in the right way, but at the end of the day, as artists, you have to advocate for yourself. And I would say that that's something that we're definitely learning to do together.
So now that you're in the music industry, has there been anything that surprised you? Because it's one thing to dream, when we're young, we're like, oh, we want to be in this industry, we want to do this, whether it's singing or photography, videography. So, but it's a different ball game when you get in and the work it takes. So has there been anything that has surprised you?
To be honest with you, I feel like we've been preparing.
Mm.
We've been in preparation. So everything that we're walking through now is kind of like, yeah, there's challenges. Yeah, you know, nothing's perfect, but we've been ready. So now that we're walking through it, now that we're in it, it's like we were already prepared for everything that we're walking through, if that makes sense.
And speaking of challenges, I talk a lot about mental health on my platform because it seems like a lot of people, I mean, now it's becoming more talked about, but through the years, a lot of people have felt maybe they're suffering and it's only them and not other people are really going through it. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you guys handle mental health for yourselves, and what advice would you give to someone watching who might be thinking, you know, too depressed or feeling like I'm lost and not knowing where to go next?
So for me, I can really speak to that because I've always had sometimes a struggle with mental health sometimes. I've grew up with a bad case of anxiety. I'm kind of starting to get over it now as I'm getting older. But I would definitely say to just stay true to yourself. Know that you are the best you can be. Nobody else can be you the way that you can be you. And so it's just believing in yourself. Just doing anything that you can to just uplift yourself, whether it's just doing what you love, like we love to sing, so we're doing what we love, and we're walking in our purpose. So I would definitely say walk in your purpose, and that will really help you mentally.
Yeah, I would definitely say I've dealt with my fair share of anxiety. Thankfully, my mother is she's definitely into health and wellness, and she's a very loving mother. So anytime me or my brother or anybody in my family is dealing with mental struggles, she's very comforting. And I would say at the end of the day, you just can't be afraid to ask for help, because at the end of the day, everybody's going through something. So you're never really alone, because everybody is struggling with something. So I would say, whether you have a friend or if you have parents that you can talk to, or even a therapist, I would say therapy is definitely, it works for sure. I remember when my parents got divorced, I was going through a lot, and I went to therapy, and I could definitely say it helped me. So just don't be afraid to ask for help. I know there's definitely a stigma, and you could feel like, oh, I don't want to be looked at as crazy, or I don't want to be looked at as, there's something wrong with me. But at the end of the day, everybody has struggles, and it's okay to ask for help. So
I agree with the girls. And definitely to keep God first.
Yeah.
And keep him in the center of everything. Because at the end of the day, what you're going through, he'll always be there to reel you back in, and remind you who you are and what you hold.
Amen, amen. Before I let you girls go, is there a chance you can give us a little taste of the vocals?
Yeah.
Sing a song.
Yeah.
A little song.
Okay.
Can you hear us calling out? Can you hear us calling you? We send our sound, hear us now. We send our sound, siren is calling, calling, calling. Oh, oh, listen to our song, siren is calling.
Wow. I feel like I just went to church. If you depressed, that will get you out of depression. Thank you guys for the time tonight. It was really nice to talk to you guys.
Thank you.